Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm going to do a video here and really go more in depth on the stagnation of your lymphatic system and really show everyone not only photos so you can see them firsthand, but just so everyone can get the overall big picture of what is going on and really grasp this concept even more. It's really a simple concept to understand, especially once you start detoxing, but for people that just don't understand, and lately that hasn't happened with my videos because I'm doing, I feel, a very thorough job of explaining, especially in each video, but there's always going to be somebody that just doesn't understand because they're taught by the medical community everything revolves around individual conditions, and that is simply not true. Disease is something that really doesn't exist. These are symptoms of a stagnated lymphatic system, and especially when it becomes overwhelmed with toxic debris. So think of a sewer, and you get some type of debris in there, and it's raining and it's backing up. That's what's happening in your lymphatic system. But there's miles of lymphatic system, and it's a huge, massive system, and it needs to be clear, or you're going to get symptoms. And this not only leads to impaired immunity, which I've mentioned before, and disease, but development of cellulite, edema, fluid retention, chronic pain, and fatty deposits. And you're going to get more than that, folks. But this is just a basic overview of what I wanted to show you folks. But at this point, let me show you the next picture. And I love this one to really paint that picture in your folks' not only memory, but overall vision of what you need to do. Okay? So, surgeons cut out everything except cause. Now, of course, it's showing strawberries, and these look beautiful, by the way. Look at that. Nice and ripe. I mean, the riper the fruit, the better it's going to be. Blueberries, those look amazing. I would definitely avoid corn. Most of it's genetically modified. It's not going to help you in the process. You can consume some vegetables as long as you're doing about 80% fruits. I definitely would be on as raw of a diet as possible. That's where you're going to get the most benefits in a short period of time. If you are consuming a lot of cooked foods with fruit, you're not going to get any benefits. And I mentioned this before, if you do eat some cooked food, it can really slow down that detox process and really stop it in its tracks. So you definitely want to avoid that. But Herbert Shelton, who obviously did this picture, wasn't really, in my opinion, referring to the lymphatic system, but surgeons can definitely cut out everything except cause. They can cut your thyroid, they can cut your gallbladder. You can, donate your kidney. Folks, you need both kidneys. I mean, I know you can live without one, but each kidney has its own function. Each side is different, your right side and your left side. And I'll have to get into future videos about that, but that's not about this video. And again, if you start cutting everything out of your body, it's not going to help you. The organs are in your body for a reason. If they weren't needed, they wouldn't be there. Think about that, all right? And your body can heal itself with the right foods and cleansing your lymph. But surgeons can cut out everything except cause, and that is very, very true. So let's take a look at this. This is a nice, beautiful cartoon picture, and I love this picture because it kind of reminds you of a water slide. You know, you're in the summertime and you're going, the water's running freely. And this is why I want to show you this picture. If you get a blockage in here, how the water's going to stop. It's going to back up. It's going to start going to the other way. Say somebody's going down, they get stuck, and the person that's supposed to be running the top is before somebody actually enters it and gets in, and that they don't really notice that somebody's stuck, then the next person's going to get stuck unless they can push them out. So it's going to cause a big problem. And obviously this particular pipe is going to have symptoms. And the symptoms are going to be blockage, obviously from humans at this point. But your lymphatic system can get really blocked up where it's like cement. And that means you got a lot of work ahead of you. And some people are really in chronic stages. And the more chronic stage you're in, the longer this is going to take. And don't think because you're younger or you think that you eat healthy because you've been following the food pyramid your whole life. It doesn't matter, folks, and that's not healthy anyways, and you're going to have just as much work to do as anyone else. When your body becomes acidic, it's acidic. When it becomes chronic, that's an even deeper level that you're going to have to do a deeper cleanse on. So I hope that makes sense. So let's go to the next picture I want to show you, folks. And this next picture, and I want to show you here, this is a phenomenal way to really put this picture in your folks' head of what's going on. And that's why I picked this picture. It's saying 3 steps to a healthy lymphatic system. And for those of you who don't know, I've talked about this in other videos, but it is basically lymph systems. It is the body's internal drainage system. Okay, it's designed to rid your blood of acidic and toxic waste. Without a proper functioning lymph system, our bodies become toxic waste bins, which results in excess weight, cellular arthritis, all these conditions, headaches, cancers, and a compromised immune system. So, if somebody says I have, medical community told me I had the worst stage of cancer, and I took this and that, and they said it's gone. Well, if you weren't on the proper diet of mainly raw fruits and vegetables, and you're trying to treat the symptom of that, is it going to come back if you go back to eating a bunch of junk? Absolutely. And this has happened to many people. I did a video a couple years ago on a gentleman that was a competitive eater, and he had testicular cancer, and he had, I believe, one of his testicles removed. And this is not to gross you folks out, this is for educating. And he's had cancer several times, and it keeps coming back. He's doing radiation this time, he's done chemo. So folks, why does it keep coming back? Because he keeps eating the same foods, and he never cleanses his lymph system. And not to knock this gentleman, but he's, I've seen him with his shirt off, and he's got about 50 or 60 moles. That's a sign where the liver is stagnated, and that's the cause of excessive moles. Okay? Everything means something on the body. And if you're getting excessive moles, that is a big problem. Is the medical community going to tell you this information? Number one, they're not trained on it. Number two, they don't have a clue what this is because they don't even know anything about nutrition. They don't even know what raw foods do. And then there's all the hindering from the drug companies that they block the news media, which, they fund these organizations, from telling you this information. They're always looking for a cure. They've been looking for cures for decades. And then you have to take drugs for life. I mean, come on, folks. This is common sense. You're a reoccurring, basically, dollar sign for them. It's like having a reoccurring transaction on your credit card that never goes away for life. And that's the best way I can explain it. And, that's what debt does to you. And, again, this is about health. I'm not going to get into that. But that's, again, another system in what people are doing at the top to other people to control them. The biggest thing is, if you're not eating right and you can't think properly, and you watch the mainstream media because you think they're awesome, when they're lying to you every second because you're simple-minded, you're never going to get anywhere with health. I will promise you that. You will be 6 feet under, like all the rest of the people that have went to the medical community for help because they don't know any better. And I'm not knocking people, but people can educate themselves, folks. And everything online, search engines and things like that, the priority comes to the medical community so you can see their information. So let's take a look at this, folks. This is a picture of a virus. Why am I showing you this? And this says virus middle school math and science. Because viruses will affect you a lot more when you have a stagnated lymph system. So if your immune system is impaired, for whatever reason, how you got your lymph system stagnated. I mean, maybe, and I want to go back to this real quick to kind of show you down at the bottom. If you weren't already noticing this is why I'm showing you this. If you're under a lot of stress, you have an iodine deficiency, doesn't mean you take iodine supplements. The only supplement you need to take is B12. If you take nutrients in a massive quantity, that's going to cause more problems. And that's why this shows contributing to a sluggish lymphatic system. So if you can't fix an iodine deficiency with iodine supplement, you need to use foods. And that is the most important way to correct that. Pesticides. Obviously, pesticides are very minor if you're on a raw food diet compared to someone that's more toxic. Smoking, prescription drugs, meat. I've mentioned this over and over and over. Meat is all acids. There's no electromagnetic energy. Look that up. It's at the bottom. It means death. Dairy. Dairy is very acidic. Raw dairy is better than pasteurized dairy. Short term. But is dairy going to help move your lymph system? Absolutely not. Food additives. Well, don't eat processed foods. You won't have to worry about it. So there you go, folks. I want to end on this picture of the virus. Viruses are proteins. The more they get dumped in your lymph system, the more stagnated your lymph, the more viruses, the more problems. Cleanse it, move forward. Thank you, folks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.